All right, so we built a center. The build is an inside-outside scorer. This is us versus the Sacramento Kings. You know, I got to have that defense. So the block on Sabonis, and I'm running the floor, outrun him, bam. Also, we're going to get an A+ in this as far as a teammate grade. So you got to understand, like, if you, I don't really, scoring points isn't per se my thing. I will score points when I'm open, but I don't put a lot of effort into scoring. Like, I'll hit open shots and I'll rim run. But I'm not going to do a ton else. I put most of the effort in on defense and playmaking. And that's just usually how I play. So you kind of see with my defense, I'll usually get a badge every other game, every 3 games. But with everything else, I have to do the drills. A lot of the other stuff just doesn't come as natural to me as a player. So rebounding, passing to teammates, very good at that. Not so good at shooting or saucing for shots. I'm decent at shooting. I mean, I'm an open shot shooter, so I'm just not going to put the ball on the deck to shoot. I'm giving away my secrets. I will put the ball on the deck here and there, but just generally I don't. I tend to be more of a playmaker and a defensive player than a scorer. So it's funny when people play with me, I start to realize how much people love scoring when they play basketball. Like, to them, scoring in basketball is just, it's the whole thing. But I grew up in the 80s watching players like Pippen. You know, I like Magic Johnson. He wasn't a defensive player per se, but we had players. I grew up watching players also like Pippen, Dennis Rodman, who he could not score a point and impact the game. Ben Wallace, who couldn't score. Dennis Rodman could score, he just didn't. Ben Wallace couldn't really score. He didn't have much of an offensive game to speak of, but he was so dominant defensively that it was just, I understand the impact of defense. I understand the demoralizing nature of really strong defensive play. I grew up playing soccer as a goalkeeper, so for me to not score doesn't mean anything to me. I'll score, not score, doesn't matter. But I really just like being a good teammate. I like playing good team ball. I'm not really a one-on-one player, you know what I'm saying, because I just don't have sauce like that. I'm more of a 3s to 5s kind of guy. That's just what it is. So this build, I can shoot. Right now he's currently shooting about 88% free throws, and I got a 70 rating of free throws or something in the 70s. So as long as you know the timing on that, you're good. As far as his jump shooting, I'm just not great at shot selection, and it's just trying to understand when homie has open shots, you know, and it's like trying to find out when the shots are open, and I can, I just don't have good shot selection all the time. Like, I get that 17 to 20% cover, and that just, I will not make a shot under those conditions, which is really unfortunate, because my 3-pointer right now is 22%. It's god awful. So like, I feel confident about shooting. It's weird. Like, you shoot that low percentage, and it's like every time I hit 3-point line, I practice my shot. It's crazy, because in the drills, you know, I'll hit like between 15 and 18 shots in the like corner threes, up top threes, yada da 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 da. But there's just times when in game, I don't know. I mean, get in the comment section. Tell me, homies. Like, in game shooting is just like, you got to pick the right times to shoot. That's just really what it is. And I think what can happen, especially with me, is I get in my mind, I got to hit a 3-pointer, right? The best games I play is when I just allow the opportunities to come when they're there. I'm just not good at forcing. Like, if I got to take a 3-pointer now, if it's just not there, there's no way I'm going to make that shot, right? I don't have like little tricks and tools to make shots all the time. So you can see a lot of my stuff is in my builds, the thing that I did not rate highly at first, but then I realized, like, I kind of think about it, like, what you have to build your player in a way. It's like, look, so some things you just don't do all the time, and some things you do all the time. What do you do all the time? You run and move around. So the physicality of your player is really important. Like, if you have a 7-foot basketball player that has like 80 speed and 80 acceleration, he only needs like 70 block. right, to be a paint protector because he's so fast. Even though his block is not the highest, but because I can move so fast, I'll block a shot. So there's ways of making builds that is not, for the things you want to do, you don't necessarily have to always put it into just the rating, right? If you want to block shots as a 6-foot player, then yeah, you're going to need a high block rating to be able to challenge appropriately. But if you're a 7-footer and you put your block on like 70, 75, and you're really fast and you put it into your physicality, you'll be insane on defense. So the physicality of your speed and the way you move is just as important as your attributes. We got an 18-7 game, 2 assists, few blocks. Not a bad outing.